All right, welcome back to another one of our film review. Today we are talking Los Angeles Chargers young defender Tuli Tuipulotu. I will refer to him as Tuli or 45 for the rest of this film review just to avoid embarrassing myself. But I tell you what, Chargers fans, this young defender absolutely dominated the Raiders. He showcased his versatile playmaking ability. I think you've got a breakout star on your hands, and we'll break down everything he did so well. As always, in the comment section below, give us any feedback you might have. If you're a fan of these film reviews and want to help support us so we can do more of them, consider becoming a member of our channel. There's a link in the description box below that will take you right there. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's get started with some pass rush, and there's Tuli right there lined up in, I'm going to call that a wide 3 technique. You can see a defensive end way on the outside edge of your screen right there, or an outside linebacker. The Chargers essentially have a 6-man front. They got these 4 guys inside. They got one stand up over here and one stand up over here. Let me clean up the screen for you guys. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to rush every single one of these 6 guys, just like this, into each one of these gaps, just right here, just to flood every single gap. And wherever Ashton Jeanty, the Raiders running back, goes, that's who's going to pick him up. So if he goes this way, this edge player is going to pick him up. If he stays home, everyone's going to continue to rush, right? This is the Chargers' adjustment to this formation, which means we got one-on-one opportunities across the board, including with Tuli right here. Again, on this left guard, one-on-one situation, number 45 wins and gets a sack on Geno Smith. Let's check it out. There's a snap. Here comes the pass rush. Pocket collapses. There's Tuli with the sack. Nicely done. You can see when Ashton Jeanty right here, number 2, releases, that edge rusher picks him up, which means we're one-on-one across the board. Right tackle, right guard, center, left guard, left tackle. Everyone's one-on-one, including Tuli against number 66. Great rip move right there. Watch how Tuli fires out into him to get 66 to really brace himself. Then he goes with the outside speed rush. Nicely done. Beats him around the edge. Gets a sack. Now listen, this is a left guard here for the Raiders. Tuli as an edge rusher is much more inclined as a pass rusher than number 66 probably is as a pass protector. And it shows when you look at the film. The Chargers are starting to use Tuli as a sort of jack of all trades, a guy that can move all over the place, whether it's in the pass rush game or the run defense game. He can do it all, and like we're starting to see, he can become a dynamic playmaker. All right, from the wide copy, you can see Tuli right there, right at the middle of the field. Beats the left guard cleanly. Sack on Geno Smith. Nicely done. You can see that 6-man front, right? 4 down guys, one stand up at the bottom, one stand up at the top. Running back releases, the bottom stand up picks him up. Again, this is just good defense. Creates these one-on-one opportunities, the one-on-one matchups across the board in terms of the pass rushers on the O-line. Now, you still have to win those matchups, right? You create those matchups as a coaching staff, but you still need guys like Tuli to step up and take advantage. You see it right here with the great outside rush. Gets a sack. Nice job. All right, how about some run defense? And there's Tuli right there on the left side of your screen. It's 4th and 1. The Raiders got to get to that line to get a first down right here. And you can see they've come out with not 1, not 2, but 3 tight ends all the way over on the left side of the offense, the left side of your screen. And Tuli's kind of on an island right here, to put it mildly, right? They got interior defensive lineman here, they got a linebacker here, and they got nobody else. What you do here, though, if you're the Chargers, by creating this defensive structure, is you're forcing this left tackle and left guard to pinch down inside, which also forces this tight end to work up to that linebacker. Otherwise, he'll fire through and blow up the play, which means you've got a one-on-one situation. Tuli one-on-one against this tight end. You're saying, we trust our young defensive end to make the play. 45 proves them right with a big stop. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's the handoff. Blown up in the backfield. Denied the first down. Nicely done. You can see how the left tackle and left guard have to work down inside, which forces the tight end number 80 to work up to number 43, which means we're one-on-one, 46 for Las Vegas against Tuli, and he beats him inside cleanly. But right here, this is where it's next level athleticism. He puts his foot in the ground, turns the corner, and just gets enough in number 2. Nicely done. We're talking about a playmaker emerging. It's one thing to be a good player in terms of doing your job, your assignments, and taking advantage of opportunities. Now Tuli, as he becomes a more polished player, as he becomes more experienced, is becoming a guy that takes advantage of those chances and wins and creates big plays with production. Tackles for loss, sacks, pressures, the whole 9, right? Tuli is very quickly becoming an elite edge defender. Obviously, the Chargers have got a lot of defenders they really like across the board, and I think 45 may be the most underrated one of the bunch. He's becoming a star. All right, from the wide copy, looks really good. Watch Tuli right there, right around the bolt, jump inside. Now turn the corner, trip up Ashton Jeanty. Outstanding work. It's everything. Penetration right here, but not getting washed down inside. You can get penetration right from an offensive perspective, but if the offensive tight end in this case washes you down inside, that the running back can bounce out cleanly, then it's one-on-one right here, potentially not just for a first down, but a really big play. But what does Tuli do right here? Instead of getting washed down inside, he bends back around, lays out, and trips up the running back. They're able to make the stop. This was a huge play. This was a massive play here for the Raiders. It could have been, right? One-on-one right here for maybe even a touchdown. Who knows, right? Tuli, he negates all of that with an outstanding effort in the run defense department. Nice job. All right, let's go back to the pass rush, and there's Tuli right here on the right side of your screen, lined up as a wide 3 technique, right? We've got a wide 5 over here, we've got a 2-eye over here, and we got another wide 5 over here. It's a pass rush situation here for the Chargers defense. That's why everyone's got some width here. But we're going to get a stunt inside. We're going to have this defensive tackle work this direction. Tuli's going to loop all the way around, and he's going to end up getting the sack. This is an effort play. This is a motor play from number 45. I'm a big fan of the energy he brings. He shows it on this play. Let's check it out. Pre-snap motion. There's the snap. Tuli loops around, finishes the play, gets a sack. Now, in my mind, this is a team sack, right? You can see the edge rush here, number 71, blows a tackle into the quarterback. That's as much as the sack, in my opinion, is what Tuli does. But it's a team effort. You got to have someone finishing the play. And that's what number 45 is becoming. He can be the disruptor, like we saw in the first 2 plays of this film review. But on this 3rd play here, he's the cleanup guy. He's the finisher. And that's why I'm really excited about his development with the Chargers. I'm excited about what he can do as a part of this Chargers defense. They've got some tough games in front of them, for sure. Philadelphia, Dallas. The Cowboys offense looks good. The Eagles have talent, right? And obviously a tough finish to the season and potentially the postseason beyond that. You're going to need guys like Tuli that have the ability to loop around, hustle, and finish the play like we see here. You're going to need him to be a disruptor. Play side, backside, defensive tackle, defensive end. He's going to have to line up all over the place. You need guys like number 45. That's why it's so huge. He's starting to emerge. All right, from the wide cop, you can see Tuli right there near the bottom of the screen. There's a snap. He's going to loop around. Right, play takes a long time. And again, 52, Khalil Mack. He's the one that causes a sack at the bottom of the screen right here. Blowing the right tackle into the quarterback. He doesn't get credit for it, but he's the guy that causes it. But you have to have the cleanup crew. You have to have the guy that can finish it. And I think the Chargers at times haven't had that. That's why they went out and got Odafe Oweh as well. We all know Khalil Mack is a stud for sure. But they've been looking for more guys that can finish as well as disrupt. Khalil Mack is a disruptor. Oweh can be a disruptor. Tuli can be a disruptor as well. But now they've got a whole cadre of guys who can make plays in the backfield, but also clean up messes that their other teammates make, just like we see right here. All right, let's go back to the run defense, and there's Tuli lined up in I'll call it a wide 5 technique on the left side of your screen on the outside shoulder of the Raiders left tackle. And this is going to be a design cutback here from the Raiders. They're going to get a little motion pre-snap this direction to try and get flow from the linebackers and safeties following the motion. They're going to get a toss action this way, and everyone on the offensive line is going to work to the right side of your screen, the right side of the offense, right? We're going to get down blocks here, everyone working this direction, tackle working up this direction to that linebacker, tackle going this direction. 46 at the snap, he's going to go across the formation and kick out Tuli. Running back's going to take the toss, Ashton Jeanty, and go right through here just like this. And this play is blocked really well. They get a seal here, they get a seal here. They get a great seal here. 46, one-on-one, he gets the seal right there. This could have been a touchdown, but Tuli once again wins the play on the backside now, makes a tackle, stuffs the run. Let's check it out. Pre-snap motion. There's a toss, there's the cutback, and there's Tuli to make the play. Outstanding work. Look at this seam for a second here, guys. Go a little bit forward. Right there. Right, obviously Tuli's beating the block at this point, but they've got hats on hats. Pinning number 6, 66 for the Raiders has pinned down the defensive tackle. Right, they got number 10 on a DB. It's one-on-one with the safety. This could have been a really nice play here for the Raiders, but Tuli blows it up. Right here, absorbs the contact, but fights it off and makes a tackle as well. Production matters. Playmaking matters, guys, and we're seeing it from number 45. Before, in prior games and earlier on in his NFL career, he would make this play. Boom, he would have the collision and do a good job, but he wasn't quite there to come off the block and make the tackle. Now we're seeing the production. Now we're seeing the playmaking, and compared to the rest of this Chargers defense, as good as they already are, adding Tuli emerging as a playmaker makes him that much more dangerous. All right, from the wide copy, looks really good from 45's perspective. There's the toss. You can see right there. They've got hats. Again, if Tuli is blocked, he's into the secondary up to the safeties, right? It's a really nice play. But Tuli, number 45, takes on 46, gets away from him, and makes a tackle. Guys, look at this contact here with 46 against 45. Who's the hammer and who's the nail? Who goes backwards and who goes forwards? Look at 46. He goes flailing backwards on contact. Boom, look at that. That's not ideal. And that's all number 45 for the Bolts right there. Physical, tough, and then at the end of it, productive, making the play. A+ from Tuli. All right, sticking with the run defense, and there's Tuli all the way over there on the left side of your screen. You can see the Raiders, once again, they've got 3 tight ends to 1 formation, a lot of meat over there, and they're going to run a toss play to that side. Everyone on the offensive line is just basically working to their left, trying to get reach blocks here across the board. Tight end working up as well. And Tuli's going to end up one-on-one right here. He does a great job defeating the reach block and working north and south to make the tackle. Again, tough position to be. You can see the Raiders, not a bad idea to tack outside because they've got all of these people bottled up inside. The Raiders want to get outside where they think they got bodies. They think they got a hat, and then one guy on the edge there potentially to make the tackle. They like the numbers, but they don't account for number 45. He makes the play. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's a toss. There's Tuli and company. Nicely done. Well defended. Look at how he takes on this block from 46. A little help from Brock Bowers, number 89, doesn't matter. See how he's parallel to the line of scrimmage right there? Keeps everything in a perfect body position. Shock, shed, play off the block, and then make the tackle. Production. Now his teammate was there. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Scraping outside, beating that block, making the tackle. Nicely done there. But Tuli setting the edge to the defense. Right here, running back has no choice to cut back. Tuli set the edge, and that's where the cavalry arrives, and they stuff the run. This is phenomenal technique. Again, look how parallel he is to the line of scrimmage. Right there. Shoulders, knees, hips. He's in a perfect position, even getting held a little bit. Fights through the contact, no problem. Again, tell me, guys, who's the hammer, who's the nail? Right here, who goes backwards? 46 does, not Tuli. Physical presence, technically sound, do your job, and now productive too. A+ once again from number 45. All right, from the wide copy, you can see Tuli right there at the top of your screen. He's going to take on both of these guys, primarily number 46. Drives him back, fights off the block, part of the tackle. This is just technically perfect. Again, his job is to set the edge to the defense, and does he do it? Yeah, perfectly. He's right there. Again, you can see parallel to line of scrimmage. Running back can't go wide. He forces him to cut back, and then he's part of the tackle as well. This is, again, outstanding work from Tuli. Whether it's play side, whether it's backside, pass rush, he can do it all. High motor guy. I mean, when I put on his film against the Raiders, I was absolutely blown away, and obviously had a great game against Las Vegas, but he's had a really nice season. He's really coming into his own. I think the Chargers have a clear breakout star in number 45. All right, I wanted to take a quick break from today's video to talk about something we're excited to offer, and that is weekly giveaways of a lot of high quality stuff. We appreciate our viewers, and that's why we want to give you guys the opportunity to join these weekly giveaways. There's a link in the description box below that takes you right to it. And this week we're talking about a $350 Yeti Tundra cooler like you see on the screen in front of you. Again, just go to the link in the description box below, enter in your email, and you have a chance to win. The drawings will be made every Sunday. You'll be announced whether you won via email, so make sure you check that out. Again, appreciate our viewers. Now let's get back to the video. All right, how about a hustle play from number 45, Tuli? And there he is on the right side of your screen. And he's going to do a standard speed to power kind of bull rush, threading up the field and trying to get to the quarterback. He thinks it's a passing situation. The Raiders call a screen, however. They leak the running back out in the flat, and he has blockers out in front. But Tuli does a great job hustling at the end of his rush to get back and part of the tackle. Again, I love the effort from 45. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's the screen. Well defended. Running back breaks a tackle, though. There's Tuli to help clean up with a nice hit. Nice job. Effort, hustle, intensity. It's what you need from defenders, right? To me, defense, more than anything else, is about effort. Obviously, you need to do your job. You need to play physical. You need to, have talent, of course. But are you an effort guy? And at first, 45, it doesn't look like the highest effort play in the world. I'm going to be totally honest. But he hustles down there, and he's part of the tackle to clean it up. Like right there. That's how you get forced fumbles. That's how you get recovered fumbles. Again, running downfield to make sure you finish off the backs. And again, at this point in the game, it's a no-huddle situation. Everyone's exhausted. You can see the offensive line for the Raiders right there. They're kind of just like trotting around. They're kind of on, out of gas at this point. The Chargers are out of gas. Everyone's out of gas, right? It's definitely gut check time. You can see across the board. But Tuli does what he can to hustle down the field and make the tackle. Again, effort matters. Hustle matters. Nice job by 45, even though he's exhausted. All right, from the wide copy, you can see Tuli at the bottom of your screen, goes into the pass rush, throw the screen behind him. Again, look at these guys just walking around. Everyone's exhausted. Look at the top of your screen. Everyone's like, oh, thank God, the play's far away from us. Look at the Raiders linemen at this point in the game. Just exhausted, worn out, no huddle situation, right? They're just kind of trotting around. Sometimes the game will be like that. It'll be late in the fourth quarter, no huddle, 2 minute, whatever the situation is. And everyone's running at 40, 50, 30%, right? You just got to find a way to dig deep and just keep going. Put your feet in the ground and make a play. Tuli does that right here. Nice job with the tackle. All right, I want to end on another run defense, and there's Tuli right there on the far left side of your screen. And you can see the Raiders, once again, they got 3 tight ends over to Tuli's side. This time, Tuli's lined up all the way outside the 3rd tight end, and the Raiders are going to try and attack it with an outside zone concept here. Now, what they want to do is they want to base reach Tuli and have him widen out so far that the running back can sort of stretch it before he gets north and south. But Tuli does a great job, again, at the point of the attack, setting the edge to the defense, forcing the running back to cut back into his help before he's ready. Again, team defense here. Doesn't make the tackle like he's done this entire film review, but he does his job extremely well. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's a toss. Edge is sent. The cavalry arrives. Good defense. You know, Tuli's become a playmaker. Sacks, play side, looping around on stunts, hustle tackles, play side tackles for loss, backside tackles for loss, setting the edge and making the tackle. But he also does the little things like we see here. We've seen him set the edge before, but one-on-one against Brock Bowers, who's a good player, superstar for the Raiders, no doubt about it. And he beats him cleanly and sets the edge, forces a running back into his help. Tuli does the little things, and now he's becoming a productive playmaker. And we're seeing that emerge for this Chargers defense, and I think that will be the X factor for them going forward. 45's breakout campaign, I think, puts his Bolts defense at a whole nother level. Because we know they got some top flight stars, like Khalil Mack, for example. We know they got a lot of good young guys. We know they're well coached. But when you add in a guy like Tuli, a young guy coming into his own, he adds another layer to this Chargers defense, and he could make them a special group.